Today we are going to make an experiment. We equipped cheap quads with special kits of tracks and we will compare them with cheap sleds. Wanna see the results? Let's go! Hi there, as usual it's me, just a voiceover. You're watching ATV Machines, and today we've made another video about peculiar winter transport. We have today several Chinese cheapest quads. They are quite popular, cause they are quite effective transport for little money. But they have a serious drawback. They can't be used in winter. So today we are going to eliminate that drawback by equipping special kits of tracks for these quads. We'll find out if they are able to tackle them in deep snow. Moreover, we compare them with a snowmobile with approximately the same price. So it's going to be an interesting day. Get comfortable, my friends. We are to start right now. Today we've prepared several different machines for our experiment. All of them are affordable, but with various specs. We have rear-drive quads, all-wheel drive quad, and the snowmobile. And now let me tell you in a word about each vehicle. First of all, let's look at the snowmobile. We'll compare our quads with this sled today. This sled is called ATV. It's equipped with the engine 150cc. The length of the sled is 2650 mm. There are two seats. The width of the track is 380 mm. The dashboard is simple with a bright light. There are handles and throttle heaters. Let's get the engine started. It works quiet and smooth. Let's move to the quads. And this one is the biggest of them, called Raupen-ATV Explorer. It's equipped with 320cc 21 HP engine. The length is 2250 mm. The width is 1180 mm. It's two-seats quad, all-wheel drive, low gear, diff locks, all the options to beat any off-road. Instead of wheels, we see here 4 tracks. Well, let's start the engine. And the next quad is called Raupen-ATV 200. There is 200cc 16 HP engine. The rear chain drive. The length is 1160 mm. The width is 1100 mm. The seat is mostly for one person. The design is bright. The dashboard is the same. As we can see, instead of rear wheels, we installed here the kit of tracks, and there are skis instead of the front wheels. Wild. This word we see on this quad. It's Motoland 125, the smallest quad for today. There is 10 HP 125cc engine with rear chain drive. The length is only 400 mm. The most interesting, there is a kit of tracks, even for such a tiny quad. Well, let's try if this little quad can go with me. It seems I'm a bit heavy for this quad, so we will try it later with more appropriate rider. And now let's have a ride on other machines. Let's go! Well, my friends, as I already said, today our main goal is to find out what affordable quads with tracks are capable of. As we can see, at least we are moving. Frankly speaking, here we don't have too deep snow, so the conditions are simple for these quads. But even on such snow, it wouldn't be possible to move on wheels. But with tracks, we are able to go wherever we want. In this way we can make the first conclusion, that the tracks allow us to turn any quad in winter transport. But let's probe deeper into the case. Firstly, a few words about the installation of the kits. In fact, it's not a complicated task. It's possible to do it on your own. It will take you about few hours. By the way, there is an opinion that it's useless to equip weak quads with tracks, cause they don't have enough power to tackle the tracks. That is why we've taken the smallest quad today to test that theory. As I already said, we found a more appropriate rider to test our little quad. Meet Dmitry. His weight is about 130 kilos. Let's try it. As we can see, our little quad is moving quite swiftly, despite the heavy load. Moreover, now we will face the ascent. Let's try to climb on it. And speaking about the hill climbing, here we have a more serious ascent. Can we get over it? The rider is the same, but firstly we will try on 200cc quad. And now the tiny quad is trying. As we can see, the tracks really do a lot of good for moving in snow. But let's speak about the cons. The obvious drawback is the maximum speed. The quads on tracks are much slower than on wheels. But let's find out their maximum speed with tracks. We start from 4x4 ATV. The maximum speed on this quad on wheels is about 70 km per hour. On the tracks the result is 26 km per hour. Let's try the others. The other two quads, 200cc and 125cc, show the similar result, about 21 km per hour. And what about the snowmobile? Certainly it's much faster. The result is 45 km per hour. And it's a real advantage of the snowmobile. But as we remember, it's kind of transport that can be used only in winter, unlike the quads. Few words about the maneuverability. The rear drive quads on tracks are quite good at handling. Their turning radius is small. The sled has slightly bigger turning radius. As to 4x4 quad, the maneuverability is poor, frankly speaking, and it takes more effort to handle the quad on the tracks. Well, for this moment, we know that the quads on tracks are rather effective in these conditions, but with lower speed. But what about their off-roading capabilities? Let's try to cross this deep ditch full of snow. As we can see, all the machines passed this test without any difficulties. Let's find something more interesting. At this place we have even more snow, but it's not a serious obstacle for our machines. And let's try to climb on this small hill, but covered with deep snow. 200cc quad starts. As we can see, it fails here. What about 4x4 ATV? It goes here without any visible efforts. And what about a snowmobile? No sweat at all. And finally, let's make some conclusions out of our tests. As we found out, the quads on tracks are rather slow. But in general, we can say that with tracks, it's possible to use them in winter, especially 4x4 machine. And now few words about the prices. 4x4 quad costs about $4,000. 200cc quad costs about $2,500. And the tracks about $1,000. And 125cc quad costs $1,500 and $500 for the tracks. And the price of the sled is about $2,500. Well, let's go today, my friends. Thanks for having a ride with us. Please post your comments, what you think of these tracks. Consider subscribing the channel if you liked this video. Stay with us, there will be many more interesting materials here. Goodbye.